Good morning, girls. In the last class, we learnt about the preamble. Preamble is an introductory part of the Constitution. It is an introduction to the Constitution where you can find a gist of the ideals which are mentioned in the Constitution. Now, on this page, you can see here below, this is the preamble. This is a preamble of our Constitution. And you can see here certain words which are written in capital letters. They are written in block letters. These are the important terms of the preamble, and you might not be familiar with these terms. So we'll be discussing about these terms, about these important terms in detail today. So we'll begin with the class. Nature of state. The preamble to the Indian Constitution has defined the nature of the state in India as follows. So in the preamble of the Constitution, there's a description about the nature of the state, how the country should be, or what should be the nature of the country. So that description is mentioned in the preamble. Now we'll see. We the people of India. You can see here in the preamble the first line, we the people of India. Now what does this line mean? It means the Constitution of India derives its power and authority from the people of the country. So the Constitution has got its power, the Constitution has obtained its power and authority from the people of India, from the citizens of the country. It indicates that the Constitution of India has been made by the people of India through their elected representatives in the Constituent Assembly. So we had already learnt before that the Constitution was framed by the Constituent Assembly, the committee known as the Constituent Assembly, and the members of this committee, they were elected by the people. So when these elected representatives, when they formed the Constitution, when they formed the preamble, the Constitution, they represented the whole country. They stood as a representation of the whole country. So in other words, it is the people themselves who made this Constitution. The citizens of the country themselves made this Constitution because they elected representatives, and these representatives made the Constitution. Sovereign. The term sovereign refers to the independent authority of a state. So the word sovereign, it means it refers to the ultimate power or the ultimate authority of the country. In a sovereign country, the government has the supreme power to legislate on any subject without any external interference into its internal affairs by any other country. So when a country is a sovereign country, then the government of that country, it has a ultimate power, it has a supreme authority to make laws on any affair, on any subject which is related to that country. It has the ultimate power to make laws on the affairs of that country, and no other country, no other external country can interfere in these matters. No country can interfere in the internal matters of the country. So that is what the meaning of sovereign. Socialist. The term socialist refers to the economic and social equality in a country. So when we say that a country is a socialist country, then it means that there is equality, there is economic and social equality in the country, which means that there is no discrimination on the basis of economy or any on the basis of caste, creed or religion. There is no discrimination. Everyone is treated equal. This has been ensured in the Constitution of India by inserting the word socialist in the preamble by the Constitution, 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. So the Constitution Act of 1976, it is also known as the 42nd Amendment. Now this amendment is one of the most important amendment of our Constitution. Now the word amendment means it is a process of change that takes place in the Constitution. If any change has to be brought in the Constitution, then it has to follow this amendment process. So this is one of the most important amendments, and when the 42nd amendment took place, many new sections were introduced, many new articles were inserted in the constitution. So the word socialist was one such new insertion into the constitution. And this word, the socialist, it was inserted to make sure that everyone was treated equally in the country. Secular. The word secular has been inserted in the preamble by the Constitution, 42nd Amendment Act 1976. So just like the word socialist, the word secular was also inserted into the preamble by the Constitution Act of 1976. Now what does this secular mean? This means that India is a secular country where the state does not uphold any religion as a state religion. So when we say that India is a secular country, it means that there is no official religion for our country. The country does not support any particular religion. Then, every citizen of India has the liberty to profess, practice and propagate any religion of his or her choice. So every citizen in the country, every Indian citizen has the right, he has a freedom to declare his religion. Profess means declare, to practice his religion, and propagate. Propagate means to spread. So he has a right to declare, to practice and to spread his religion, which he or according to his or her choice. He has a choice, he has a freedom to spread and to practice his own religion. The country does not favor or promote any particular religion. So India does not give preference to any particular religion, or it does not encourage any particular religion. All the religions are treated equally in the country. It does not discriminate against anybody on the basis of religion. So there's no discrimination on the basis of religion. No one is discriminated or differentiated on the basis of any religion. This has been ensured by incorporating freedom of religion in the fundamental rights. Now, fundamental rights are the basic rights of human beings. So the freedom of religion is included in the fundamental rights. That is, freedom of religion is one of the main fundamental rights, and by including this in the fundamental rights, the country makes sure that it remains a secular country. Now the next is democratic. India has a democratic government. That is, the people of India govern themselves through the elected representatives in the parliament, at the state, at the center, and a legislature in each state. So in India, we have a democratic government. That is, government ruled by people. Government where the country is ruled by the people's representatives, and these representatives, in the center we have the parliament, and in the legislature we have the state. So these elected representatives, they govern the country through the parliament and the legislature. These representatives are elected after every 5 years through a universal adult franchise, that is, by the vote of all the adults of 18 years and above, according to the principle of one man, one vote. Now, every 5 years we have elections in our country through the universal adult franchise. Now, the universal adult franchise means that every person who is above the age of 18 or above the age of 18 has the right to vote, and one person has only one vote. A person cannot have 2 or 3 votes. One man can have only one vote. So the universal adult franchise is based on this principle, that is, one man, one vote. No discrimination is made on the basis of sex, caste, creed or religion. So everyone has a right to vote. No person can be discriminated on the basis of sex, caste, creed or religion. Every person, every citizen of India has a right to vote during elections. The next is republic. A republic is a state which does not have a hereditary king or queen, but has an elected head. So our country, India, is a republic state. We do not have any hereditary king or queen. We do not have the king or queen, but we have an elected representative. We have a head who is elected by the people. In our country, the head of the state, that is, the president, is elected by the members of the two houses of parliament and the state legislative assemblies. So we have the houses of parliament. We have two houses of parliament. One is Rajya Sabha and the other is Lok Sabha. So the members of these two houses, the members of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies, all these members, they elect the president, and the president is the head of the country. His term of offices is 5 years. So the president, he rules, he is the head of the state, he is the head of the country for 5 years. His power, his rule is for 5 years. He is not a hereditary head as in other countries like Great Britain, where the queen or the monarch is the head of the state. So in certain countries like Great Britain, there is a head, there is a queen who is the head of the state, whereas in India we do not have any such hereditary head. The president, who is the head, is not any hereditary head. We elect every 5 years. The president is elected every 5 years. So this is about the nature of the state. So in this preamble you can see, we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, we discussed here sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens. Now these terms, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, these terms we'll discuss in the next class. So today we discussed about these terms which show the nature of the state, which show the nature of our country. So that's all for today, girls. Thank you.